Well, Brad Holmes wasn't telling no lies, man. Said he got a spreadsheet of people that he is constantly watching from practice squads. The Detroit Lions poach another one, man. We just gonna go ahead and hit the breaking news right now because the Lions have made roster moves, man, and it is some moves, some we expected and some we kind of didn't. Says the Lions announced roster moves. They waived wide receiver Maurice Alexander. I guess he didn't do enough for punt returns. They placed Malcolm Rodriguez, linebacker, and Mekhi Wingo, defensive lineman, on injured reserve. So now it is official. But check it out. We knew about two of these, but it's this third one. They signed defensive lineman Myles Adams from Seattle's practice squad, linebacker Quan Alexander from Denver's practice squad, and defensive lineman Jonah Williams from the LA Rams practice squad to the active roster. So yesterday there was some confusion. You know, when you talk as much as I do and you say a lot of stuff, sometimes you miss some things, man, and y'all be killing me with it because y'all be on it. So if you are poached from a practice squad, you automatically go to the 53-man roster. I knew that. You knew that. I did not say it. I missaid it. I was confused for that 1 second because it slipped my mind. These videos are not edited. They are all from the dome, off the cuff, and sometimes I make mistakes. But the Detroit Lions, are making moves, man, trying to make sure that this roster is not depleted as we go on our playoff run. And this is 3 guys in 2 days that we've brought in from the practice squads of other teams. Yesterday, we brought in Quan Alexander and also Jonah Williams. And then today, we brought in Myles Adams. Now, let's find out some more about Myles Adams. The first thing I do is I try to find some draft prospect information from NFL Draft Buzz, from the NFL Prospect. They have their own site as well, but I think some of these guys slip through the cracks. Then you got those websites, man, that they just ads everywhere. You can't see anything. So I was unable to find out anything in print about this guy as far as his strengths and weaknesses. So I would recommend that you either do some research or go watch some film or tape from his time in the NFL. But he is undrafted per usual. A lot of these practice squad dudes are undrafted. Let me just cut back to me real quick. We're going to have the discussion about James Houston and the Detroit Lions waiving him. Let's just go back. Let's kind of have a dual conversation. It's going to be a triple conversation about 3 people. You guys talk about how when I bring up Matthew Betts or somebody brings up Matthew Betts, you keep saying that he didn't make an NFL roster. Okay, we get that. James Houston, why would you cut a guy who you drafted, who made the 53-man roster in the middle of the season when you know injuries run rampant? Ask yourself that question. It's a rhetorical question. I'm not going to answer it for you. You already know the answer. If you cut a guy for even in the middle of the season, you are on the last third of the season, you know your bodies are down, why would you cut a guy who can help you? There's only one reason for that. I'll let you come to your own conclusions. Myles Adams, 6'2", undrafted, 26 years old, out of Rice, 3rd season from Arlington, Texas. Not anything going on this year, just got 1 tackle in general. He has played, let me see, what has he done in his career thus far? He's a big dude, though. He's definitely a big dude, and as you can see, he plays defensive end. I'm definitely going to see if I can find some tape on him. Now, here's the thing, though. He's been with Seattle his entire career. Played 2 games in his first year, 10, and then 3 so far. The Seattle Seahawks got a pretty good defensive line. He only has 1 sack in his career from last season. So I am not tripping on anybody's numbers. I don't care if you've played no games. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. We are trying to win the Super Bowl, and we are down. We're losing bodies left and right. Now, there is a benefit, not a benefit, because that means that some good is going to come out of this, but there is a plus, if you can call it that. If you look at the injured reserve list, there are only a few names that are on the starting lineup for the defense. Now, the offense is pretty straight. So our offense might have to carry us through this championship run, and I'm okay with that. I'm not going to blame Aaron Glenn for anything that happens on defense. But if you look at our defense, most of the guys that have been hurt and on season-ending surgery or IR or out for some time, there's not too many on the starting lineup. You had Aiden Hutchinson. It sucks that both of our defensive ends went out. You had Hutch. You had Davenport, and there was also Derek Barnes. You take those three out. Those three were starters. There's 8 guys left. Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, DJ Reader, right? Aleem McNeil. You have Carlton Davis is not on IR. So we've got guys that the guys that have been hurt, most of them have come from the second and third as far as depth levels, right? So I'm not panicking because the starters are the strong suit, but Dan Campbell said it the best. It's going to take all of us to win this thing. And how fitting it is that our mantra for this season is it takes more. And it's literally taking not only all 53 off the active roster, the 16 on the practice squad, right? And Ford Field. Imagine, like the crowd. We are helping the Detroit Lions as well because home field advantage, man, throughout the playoffs is nobody's going to come into Ford Field and beat us. So it truly does take more. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Again, I'm not mad at anything. You know what? I kind of glossed over Maurice Alexander. I made a video about Maurice that he probably was not going to be around after 3 games. And he made it 1 game and that's it. That's now we're probably going to have room on the practice squad. I wouldn't be surprised if Maurice Alexander comes back to the practice squad because remember now, Maurice Alexander, he filled the role of Khalif Raymond. He came up and was that 5th wide receiver. So now we don't have a 5th wide receiver on the active roster. So I'm very curious to know what the Detroit Lions are going to do. You know who's not been elevated this season? One time, Donovan Peoples-Jones. And nor has anybody come to poach him off of a practice squad, off of our practice squad. So this is very telling. Tom Kennedy has one more elevation. I believe that we only have those 2 wide receivers on our practice squad. So the fact that they brought in Maurice Alexander, we know why. He can return punts. I don't think he had any targets in the game on Thursday, but Donovan Peoples-Jones could actually get targets. So it's going to be very curious to see if they don't. We got a while. We got, 5 days before our next game. So it's very possible that Maurice Alexander, because he was on the active roster, I believe, so he can probably get waived, come back to the practice squad, and then we elevate him for the game against the Green Bay Packers because Khalif Raymond is probably going to be out for a little while longer. So very curious to know. Isaiah Williams would be a really good person to have right now. I don't know what he's doing exactly with the Bengals, but again, he was poached. He was claimed and put on the 53, I believe it was. So the Lions, I got to commend Brad Holmes, man, for making this happen. I do not care who we get. I'm serious, man. We got the Super Bowl in the palm of our hand. We got the first seed. We're sniffing that. We get that. We got home field advantage. We got the Lions have never had the first seed, right? They've never had home field advantage throughout the playoffs. Back in the 90s, we had to go to Washington and we got blue back there. You're not going to come. I don't care who you are. It's going to be very tough for you to come to Ford Field and win games. I was there during the playoffs, the first 2 ever playoff games at Ford Field, and it was insane. I can only imagine what it's going to be with a legit Super Bowl chance and expectations this year. It's going to be crazy. An NFC title game at Ford Field would be absolutely ridiculous, and you are not going to beat us at Ford Field. Like, real talk. So I'm not mad. We still got some work to do. We still got 5 games. 5 games. And all of these guys coming in, man, you're talking about role players, but how fitting it is that this team it started off, Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes' regime with the Detroit Lions literally started off with throwaways. Our defensive line, Isaiah Thomas, Al Caden. Now we got Myles Adams. We've got Jonah Williams. Our defense, it's like nothing but throwaways on our team. And when I say that, you know what I mean. I mean people that were discarded from other teams, practice squads, right? This is what our team is. It is this, and I'm okay with that. I'm still saying go get Jason Pierre-Paul. He played with Carlton Davis. Go get JPP. It doesn't matter, man. We got bodies, and we're gonna talk about we need a cornerback as well. We're gonna have to go do something. So let me know what you think down in the comments below. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. Listen, my top tier director members, I mailed out 6 helmets today. Went to UPS, 6 mini helmets. So if you have not contacted me and you are a director member with 6 months or more that you've been at this level, I can tell how long you've been at the level. Please contact me. I will hold on to the helmets until you do. If I have to order some more, I will do that. But please contact me. I sent out 6 today. They're on their way. I would assume you'll get them sometime next week. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions. Quan, Myles, and Jonah, welcome to the Lions Den.